So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it really sensible to just go along with it?
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find out what's really going on with her.
Huh? Holding back? Sure didn't sound that way to Paimon.
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off, never letting you know what she really thinks.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Okay, that's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous influence on the course of Fontaine cuisine, turning it into a much more vibrant and diverse scene. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bourg was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever tasted. Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hôtel de Bourg, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world. Especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius, and over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Bourg.
Ah, Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hôtel de Bourg took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come. Something like that?
What? No, of course not! Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime. And that was it. The end of the Hôtel de Bourg's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that it started recovering. Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liyue's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their secret powers from.
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't meet the tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe make it into the Codex?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modeste wrote about. So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the Codex. But ultimately, the Gâteau de Bourg of today is my own recipe. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Vanigem's business sense to thank for that.
Oh! Huh. Well, that kind of takes all the mystique out of it.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows, maybe Escoffier's version is more suited to your palate. Just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right? Not to mention that the Hôtel de Bourg never would have fallen into a slump.
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the Codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
So why is she so interested in the original copy? Could it be a symbolic thing? Like, whoever holds the original Codex de Boer is the true head chef?
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Savannah only got a copy. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the role.
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to gift me the original in the first place. Well, a joint decision by her and Venegem. But still.
What? Huh. Guess she's had a major change of heart since she became head chef. Yeesh.
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our Gato do the talking. It means vesting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula. However much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride. And if she respects the art, she'll respect the outcome of our contest.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest. But that should be a breeze for you.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de Boer is very complicated to make. Usually, it takes 3 chefs working in tandem to cover everything. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple of assistants in time.
Well, that's easy. The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen. You just need to pick 2 of us.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned,
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it. I'll show you what I'm made of.
Confident. I like it. Alright, let's start with some elementary mise en place. Show me your knife skills.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place.